What up, channel? It's FoRePLayy, and this is the FoRePLayy story part 2. This is league play. If you notice, CTF on Slums. Wanted to post another CTF because I figured it'd go well with the last one. In case you guys missed the last FoRePLayy story part 1, go back and watch this or that before you watch this, because then you'll get a better understanding for what it's about and what this commentary is. Anyway, back where we left off. 2009 started, and there was a thing called the Holiday Classics. We just came off a Vegas loss. We finished 3rd, 4th, 1st, and then 2nd at the national championship. We were feeling really good, except we had one player on our team at the time, Nemesis, who started sliding and slipping off, and he couldn't keep up in our opinions. We made a team decision to drop him, and we ended up picking up a kid named Halifax at the time. In my opinion, we were the best team to ever play Call of Duty at that point in time. I know that's a bold statement, but I really felt that good. Another team, maybe, Optics MW3 team was really good too, so they could probably compare. They were definitely a solid team. But going into that Holiday Classic, there was these tournaments called Holiday Classic. There was a 1, 2, and a 3. You were only allowed to play in 2 of them because they had schedule conflicts. So we played in 2. We didn't drop a map the entire Holiday Classic, I don't think, both of them. And if we did, I know for a fact we swept the finals and we won those. And we were untouchable. At the time, the roster was Envyus, Fierce, myself, and Halifax. Then, going into MLG, I think 1, okay, we had the same roster. I think we went 36-1 the ladder. Like, remember how I told you in like they have the PCL ladders? So in PCL 1 of 2009, we went 36-1. We were hyped for playoffs. We ended up dominating everybody. And we're in the playoffs, and we're scheduled to play a team called Fear. And you guys know who Fear is, probably. And we end up not having our 4th, Halifax, get on. This is where we obviously had to drop him because he didn't get on for the finals. Or not the finals, but he ended up screwing us over. We ended up placing 6th, I believe, that Holiday Classic. Or not that Holiday Classic, that PCO, and it just sucked. We, in my opinion, were the best team in the game, and obviously we needed to make a roster change. Then we get to a point where we felt Fierce wasn't really up to par, like at the same time. So going into PCL 2, Stainville and myself, we wanted to make a roster change. We ended up picking up Sidrock, and Sidrock was like, you know, I don't think Fierce is where it's at. He's not the type of player that fits my play style. He's not the type of player that we need. And it was one of the hardest decisions for me to make because I started teaming with him, and I teamed with him for a year and a half at that time. Maybe even 2, I think 2 years, or whatever the case may be. We ended up dropping him. Sidrock, we made Sidrock call him and make the decision to drop him. And at that time, we were looking for a 4th. We were looking everywhere. We were scrimming with so many different players, and we couldn't find a 4th at the time. And we ended up scrimming a team called Vexed. This is where Proofy comes in. Vexed at the time was a guy named Modi, Sharp, Proofy, and Gumper. This team beat us by 200 points in domination at the time on Strike, and it was crazy. These guys were better. They were beating everybody. They were beating all these pro teams. I told Stainville, I was like, I need to break this team up. He goes, what do you mean? I was like, I can't let a team like that be winning and dominating us. So I hit up Proofy. He was a young kid on the team. I don't remember what his gamer tag was. And I'm like, join Team Envyus. Join us, be our 4th. He jumped on it, and we ended up having Sidrock change his name to Paradox because nobody wanted to. We wanted to kind of keep it like a secret, and we were always up to stuff like that, just trying to like stir up the community. So Sidrock changes his name to Paradox, and we're going into the 2nd PCL as Paradox, Proofy, FoRePLayy, and Stainville. We end up dominating PCL 2. We didn't even drop a map in the playoffs or the finals. We beat a team called Hysteria in the championship. We 6-0'd them, and that was it. Crazy dominated them. Then, I believe this is where we had an issue in PCL 3. PCL 3, I know for a fact that Proofy ended up getting an offer, I believe, from Fear. Our team wasn't as active. He took that offer, and we ended up not being with Sidrock, I don't think, and it was just a disaster. I think that's the worst that we finished in a PCO. Maybe not. I don't remember. But actually, it wasn't the worst we finished because we ended up placing like 7th. And then going into Modern Warfare 2, it was a new game. We were extremely hyped, and Modern Warfare 2 came out. So in Modern Warfare 2, that was the 2010 season. 2010 season going into Modern Warfare 2, I was in North Carolina at the time. Now I moved and stuff like that, and it was myself, Stainville, Hastro, and Sharp. And that roster on paper was not a good roster because a lot of people viewed Hastro as not that good anymore because he was just whatever. It was my first time ever teaming with him, and we ended up giving it a try, and it just didn't work the first PCL. Actually, take that back. It was Sidrock, myself, Stainville, and Hastro. Sharp never came into the picture yet. We ended up, it was the craziest thing happened in this PCL because we ended up beating Team Fear, and they had Dito, Proofy, Assassin, and Moho. And we ended up, on paper, that team should have beat us. You know what I mean? Like, that team was better than us, hands down. And we ended up beating them with Hastro, Sidrock, myself, and Stain, and placing third. And the only reason we placed third, this is the part that might get to you guys, is Sidrock didn't show up for the finals against a team called AOX. And we ended up playing 3v4 against AOX, and we ended up losing. And it pushed me over the top. I said, get him off the team, get Sidrock off the team, because it happened to me again. So I've been pretty successful. And in that time, don't forget, I'm playing all these small tournaments. In my gaming career, I've won over 105 tournaments. And I'll link a lot of my achievements below. Not all of them are obviously on there, but I'm going to link a lot of them below. Just click on the Game Battles link. You'll see a lot of my Game Battles achievements. I've won 360 Icons, Cyber Sports tournaments, a bunch of other tournaments. And that, I'm not trying to brag like, oh, I'm the best, but at this time, I'm winning all these tournaments. So me not winning a tournament, at the time, you can imagine how frustrated I was. We ended up dropping Sidrock because he didn't get on for the finals. I don't remember what his excuse was. And we pick up Sharp. This was my first time teaming with Sharp. And I saw the potential in Sharp, and I'm like, man, we really need to pick it up, you know, and we really need to go. Going into PCL2, we placed 21st PCL2. It was so bad. We got upset early by a team, and it was Sharp, Hastro, myself, and Stainville, and we just weren't that good of a team. Hastro ended up stepping back, saying, you know what, like, I don't want to be a part of it, or not, I don't want to be a part of this team, but I don't want to play anymore because I feel like I'm moving on to other things, and it's my time to retire. So he retires, and it's up to Stainville, myself, and Sharp to find fourth. And I'm like, hey, let's get Proofy again. We played with Proofy once, we never lost, and let's get him again. We pick up Proofy for PCL3, and we end up playing both Pro Circuit ladders on the PS3 as well as on the PS3 as well as on the Xbox. We won both Pro Circuit ladders on PCL3 just on the Xbox and the PS3. And then we ended up playing in the National Championship, and we won that as well in 2010. We won $18,000 collectively as a team in November. It was a really good win for us. And also, one of the achievements I want to go ahead and throw in my 2010 was we got to play in an all-star game, which you can YouTube search MW2 All-Star Classic, and you'll be able to watch that. You can see me playing in it. And yeah, it was an awesome, good experience, and you got to see a bunch of stuff. And that was basically the whole season in a nutshell for 2010. And then going into Black Ops, I guess I had time to talk about Black Ops too. At that point in time, I was playing for three and a half, almost 4 years, I think. And Black Ops rolled around, and I just didn't have it in me to play competitive. It was on the PS3, and I struggled on the PS3 sticks. I wasn't as good, and Scuff wasn't around at the time or anything like that. So I just wasn't that good, and I just needed a break. So I stepped back from Team Envyus, the competitive side, and that's when I started up my YouTube, getting competitive, doing Till Infinities, and all that stuff. And I don't regret it for a minute. I regret not being a part of like playing and stuff like that, but I needed a break, you know, like a lot of people didn't realize that I've been grinding for that long, you know, like I've been playing for that long. And I commend Stainville because yeah, he was grinding the same amount of time, but he got burnt out come MW3. Like when he stopped playing MW3, I was still grinding, you know, like, but anyway, so that's Black Ops. And then going into MW3, there really wasn't anything for MW3. I competed in a lot of like small tournaments, and I won those. And I came back the end of MW3, teamed with Sidrock, Burns, Hysteria, and I ended up winning the GB playoffs in that. And that was kind of cool because it felt like, yeah, I'm back, you know. And now going into Black Ops 2, this is where I'm at. This is actually going to only be a two-part series of where I came from and what I'm about, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this. But you can kind of see my progressive road, you know. I was never an amateur player because the first Pro Circuit ladder I placed pro right away. So it's kind of cool to say that, but at the same time, I want you guys to realize that my road was just as hard. You know, I came from a team that wasn't considered the best. We were never considered the best until about the second season, you know. So 2008 was a struggle for us, but anything is possible, and I want you guys to realize that whether your goal out there is becoming a professional gamer, professional football player, if you just want to be a marine biologist and go to Harvard and be the best lawyer in the nation, you can do any of that. You know, you put your mind to it, and that's definitely feasible. A lot of people sell themselves short and become complacent with like where they're at in life, and that's definitely not something that I've ever been about, and that's why I preach to you guys such motivational stuff. So either way, now you know the story of FoRePLayy and the FoRePLayy gang. I hope that you guys like it more. Keep doing whatever you're doing. Keep dominating your game. This week, I know I promised you class setup, so I want to throw this in there. I promise this time I'm going to get that out. In case you guys didn't know, the reason I had shaky video problems was there was just something messed up with the cap card, and I couldn't get it all put together, come out right. So I'm definitely going to get a class setup video coming out. And then also, I promise you, you guys will see a room setup. You can see my ballin' room. Either way, this is FoRePLayy from Team Envyus and the FoRePLayy gang. You guys are the best. Until next time, take care and keep dominating your game. What up, FoRePLayy gang? I hope that you guys like the FoRePLayy story part 2. As always, in the top left is a video I did recently, Why Are Pros Assholes? The top right is FoRePLayy story part 1, in case you did miss that and happen to watch the second one first. You guys are the best. Seriously, take care. Keep dominating your game. Happy holidays. Peace.